Welcome to Newton, Iowa. Today it is East meets West in the Pork B Inspired 175. I'm Rick Allen alongside Phil Parsons. A gorgeous day for racing here. 75 degrees, calm winds, and clear skies above. Here's the point standings. We're going to take a look at both East and West. We start with East, Phil. Sergio Pena on top.
Yeah, how about this point battle, though? 6 points separate the top three. Only 24 points separate the top five.
Quite a bit different on the other side of the country. 48 points separating the top two. Greg Pursley on top of that. Now let's go down to Derek Bertisiglio.
Thanks, Rick. This is one of the biggest races of the season. It's a rare occasion when the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East and West gets together, and they do it here every year at the Iowa Speedway. Matt DiBenedetto is on the pole today, and Matt, the car was fast ever since you unloaded. Have you turned a wrench on this thing yet?
Man, you know, it's one of them times where you just have one of those cars, you unload off the trailer, and you don't even touch a thing. Really rare, but we're going to hopefully take advantage of it tonight. We have a great car. Mark McFarland, my crew chief, all the guys did a great job, so hopefully we can keep this pace in the race.
Brett starts on the outside of you today. He's got a win. You're looking for your first one this year. How are you going to keep him behind you?
Heck, we've got a good enough car. I think we can hold everybody off. We'll just keep our nose clean, have a smart race, and that's what it's about. I know Brett's a smart racer, so we'll just kind of get in line and ride for a little while. It's a long race, so hopefully we'll all be smart and have a clean race.
And Brett Moffitt is the man that is hoping to spoil Matt DiBenedetto's day. And you're an Iowa native. How much is it going to mean to win here?
I am, and it's awesome being here. You know, it's great having all the fans up there in the stands. And, you know, we were really close last year, and things just didn't fall our way. So hopefully we can improve on that a little bit and end up in victory lane.
We hear you've got a huge cheering section up in the suites today.
Yeah, we do. We have actually a couple suites that my dad filled up with friends and coworkers and family. So it's a lot of fun having them there, and hopefully we can put on a show for them.
Okay, these two drivers are going to hope to put on a show today at Iowa.
Thanks, Derek. Phil, what do we got to look for in this race?
Well, right now you have to not abuse your right side tires. A lot of heat is generated in that right front tire. You got to make sure you don't melt the bead. You got to move around to find a little bit of grip, and then get your pit work done early so you can have track position towards the end.
Let's find out a little bit more about Max Gresham today in our Bio Blast.
Hi, my name is Max Gresham. I'm the driver of the number 18 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota Camry. Last year I was fortunate enough to win two races and get 2 poles. You know, we won the East-West shootout down at Iowa Speedway. I won last year in ARCA racing. This year I'm going to try and contend for the championship, and also going to win as many races in this as I can. I'm Max Gresham, and that's your K&N Bio Blast.
And the drivers are climbing into their race cars. When we come back, they'll be in line, and we're going racing from Iowa Speedway. Welcome back to America's Heartland. We're getting ready for the Pork B Inspired 175. And Phil, what a gorgeous facility this is.
Really is incredible here. This is, as you can see, it's 7/8 of a mile. Distinctive grooves all the way around this racetrack. You can run 2 wide for sure, maybe even 3. You see the progressive making in the corner, and that's what allows you to do that.
Matt DiBenedetto strikes early for the East. He wins the pole. Brett Moffitt will start on the outside of him.
And you have to remember, we almost have 2 races within a race here. You have East competitors and you have West competitors, and they actually would get points among themselves. In other words, whoever finishes the highest for the West will get the maximum amount of points. Whoever finishes highest for the East will get the maximum amount of points for his series.
40 drivers will be taking the green flag momentarily. We got 2 15-year-olds in the field. Dylan Kwasniewski and Chase Elliott will be starting this race.
These guys will have to save their equipment. Now, this is the longest race, both in laps and mileage, that either series will run this year.
Green flag comes out. We're underway at Iowa.
Nice jump by Matt DiBenedetto.
This race has been dominated by the East Series. All 4 previous races have been won by what have been considered East Series drivers, starting off with Joey Logano back in 2007.
I don't know what you would consider a Casey Kane or a Kyle Busch.
Right.
They probably will be East and West, I would think.
Max Gresham won a year ago, trying to defend his title here at Iowa. Early on, though, it's Matt DiBenedetto out in front of that 0 of Brett Moffitt.
You know, we've talked about this X-Team racing that Matt drives for. 3 cars in this field, Coleman Presley and Alex Bowman. In the 3 races so far this year, with all 3 cars, the worst finish they've had is 11th.
Unbelievable. Top 15 finishes out of all the drivers. And this is the 4th race of the season. The field beginning to spread out. We've got some 3 wide back here There you see the 20 of Eric Holmes in that Napa number 20 that was in the middle.
That was Max Gresham trying to make his way back up towards the front. Not a typical qualifying effort for Max. Started back in the 23rd spot.
There's Dylan Kwasniewski in the number 3 just in front of Darrell Wallace Jr. He's had some success, but a little bit loose there coming out of turn 4.
It's going to allow his teammate Sergio Pena to get down underneath him. You know, some of these numbers a little bit. See the 76 car? That's Alex Bowman from the East. He normally runs number 16,
right.
But because we have both series represented here, whoever's higher in points coming in here gets to keep their number.
So we see Alex Bowman running the 76 in this race.
Moses Smith would be the 16 in this race because he was higher in points coming in here. Actually came in here second in West Series points.
So the field continues to spread out again, as you mentioned earlier, a very long race, 175 laps, over 150 miles, and now a battle for the lead. Brett Moffitt looked to the inside of Matt DiBenedetto. DiBenedetto still out front. Oh, spin on the racetrack. It's Rick Godovic going around, bringing out our first caution.
See a little bit of damage to the left front corner there on Rick's car.
So the pace slowed for the first time here in Iowa. It's Matt DiBenedetto out in front of Brett Moffitt. And welcome back. Port B Inspired 175 from Iowa Speedway about to go back to green. It goes in the air. We're back to racing.
Matt DiBenedetto chose the outside for this restart.
How about Sergio Pena in the number 4 making the move early on that 7 of Eddie McDonald. There's another number that we talk about. Eddie McDonald normally running the 71. He runs the 7 today.
Daryl Haar will run the 71. Daryl's from the West. But Brett Moffitt taking the lead from Matt DiBenedetto.
Moffitt out in front at the stripe. He gets credit for the lead of that lap. Again, progressive banking in this racetrack. You can run down low, up high. And this time Moffitt battling on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes the 15 of DiBenedetto on the outside once again.
What a shot he got up off that corner, up off of turn number 2 from the high side.
DiBenedetto fighting back on the outside. He'll take the lead back this lap.
That's a 0-7 of Corey LaJoie hanging in there right behind the 00 of Moffitt.
Top 3 trying to separate themselves from the field.
Corey had a great run at Richmond last time out, finished 3rd against a strong field.
Matt DiBenedetto again winning the pole. Now here comes Brett Moffitt in that 00 trying to take the lead back.
Looks like Matt's going to try the high side a little bit. Didn't look like it worked that corner. Brett Moffitt was able to gain a little bit up off the corner. Now he's back down to the bottom.
Right on the yellow line is Brett Moffitt looking to the inside of the 15 once again.
LaJoie hanging right in there in that 07 car.
Looks like Moffitt able to roll through the turns just a little bit better than the 15.
Matt got a little bit loose right down there in turn number 4. That allowed Brett to get underneath him up off the corner.
And Moffitt once again out in front. This time he clears the 15 and convincingly your leader in Iowa.
How strong has that 00 car been? Actually, for the last 3 years, the 1-2 championships with Ryan Truex, Brett Moffitt jumps in, leads every lap at Greenville, had South Boston won till 10 laps to go, got hooked up with a lap car, and then finishes 2nd at Richmond.
Very impressive. Has 1 win this season, 5 career wins for Brett Moffitt as he's out in front of this field. Matt DiBenedetto now trying to hold on to 2nd with Corey LaJoie just behind him in the 07.
Moffitt able to open up 4-5 car lengths now over DiBenedetto. Remember, we've talked about a long race here, 175 laps. You really have to save your equipment. These teams will be able to change 4 tires at some point throughout the course of this race as we see a good battle for 7th between Benny Gordon and Sergio Pena.
A great qualifying effort for Benny Gordon. Qualified in the 8th position.
Yeah, a lot of talent, a lot of championships won in the USAR series for Benny Gordon.
Now Eddie McDonald, Darrell Wallace Jr. side by side for position.
What a great run Darrell Wallace Jr. had at Richmond our last time out. Won that big race down there.
Eddie McDonald on the bottom of the racetrack, still trying to get by Darrell Wallace Jr. Let's go back trackside to Derek Perniciglio.
Eddie McDonald having a fine run out there in that black number 7 machine. That's the car that they actually run on the mile track at Dover. They left the car that they ran at Richmond home because they wanted to give this car a shot to see how it would react to a higher banked track. And it looks like it's working out for him. Eddie McDonald is looking for his first top 10 of the year. He's got 6 career wins to his credit.
Surprisingly, Eddie McDonald has struggled just a bit this season. His best finished 14th twice already, Greenville, Pickens, and Richmond.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Eddie run up front, so pretty good run early going here for Eddie McDonald.
Brett Moffitt in 5 wins in the East Series, stepped into Ryan Truex's ride from MWR after 2 championships. So Moffitt trying to continue that trend. You see the battle for 9th now. Jason Bowles on the inside, Brendan Newberry on the outside in the 39.
Yeah, Brendan Newberry won the pole at Phoenix this year for the first West Series race. And how about Jason Bowles won the showdown back in January?
Jason Bowles trying to hold off that 76 now as he moves up. That's Alex Bowman. Normally runs the 16 in the East Series, but runs the 76 here.
Alex comes into this race with 3 top 10 finishes in the first 3 races.
They're going to make it 4. Oh, around goes Rick Godovic in the 64 once again. And so that brings out our 3rd caution. This is the 2nd time that Godovic has brought the caution flag out.
A little bit of damage to the left rear corner on that 64 car. That was right in front of our leader, Brett Moffitt. You see the right front tire had to go down on that car. We talked about having to save that right front tire. It generates so much heat here with the brake heat.
Very early in this race. Brett Moffitt out in front of the field. Stay with us.